So today, we're playing a Berserker, and we are turning our wooden swords into absolute beasts, dealing some crazy damage, thanks to the new skill Hardwood, and the good old Anvil. And the whole thing does craziness just like this. This wooden sword DPS should be going turbo nuts, and especially with that scaling damage, it's going to be insane. And the fight's already over, even though they have Hardwood too. But hey, check this run out, and let me know what you think of this build. Okay, let's go jump some games with the Berserker and see just what I can do today. Okay, amazing first shop. We're going to be grabbing our sword. We're going to be grabbing our whetstone. Let's grab the banana on sale and let's roll. Now, I'm actually going to grab the broom. Let's go ahead and add this in too. I'm going to roll again, looking for another whetstone. Now, I'm not going to craft up a torch. I'm actually going to sell this to roll once again, because I do actually want to find as much wooden swords, much whetstones as possible. And we're going to move on. Now, our DPS shouldn't be too bad with double weapons in. Stamina shouldn't be any problem. We didn't actually need to keep this banana in, but it is going to be a little bit of a heal. And overall, just going to fall short, unfortunately, to that single frame button. Just pausing the video here very quickly, just to ask you to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. So we're going to sell. We're going to grab this. I'm going to roll. And we are definitely going to craft up that hero sword. And I'm actually going to be greedy. I'm going to sell the banana and I'm going to take a box of riches. And we're going to move on. So we should be in a fantastic spot once we craft up a hero sword. Now our opponent just has the goobers and a shell totem. They also have their healing outside their binary basket, so basically this is going to be gifted a free win. Yeah. So I'm not going to complain. It is what it is. Let's grab this. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to roll because I do actually want to find another hero sword or whetstone. Going to take the garlic down. Let's roll. And we're actually going to take this wooden sword. We're going to have it set up to be more like this for right now, and we're going to move on. And we'll see. Now, stamina might be a bit of an issue, but 0.5, 0.4, and 0.5 stamina usage. So it should be alright for this round. Going up again, this extra Berserker. And awesome. I'm going to choose your skill, and honestly, I'm going to go for smithing for dummies, because that's going to give us that whetstone. It's also going to decrease the stamina consumption on our hero sword. Let's go ahead and grab it. Now we're going to have to take this leather bag. I'm going to roll. We could go for Falcon Blade, but that's not exactly what I want to do. Let's keep it going for now. And there's that whetstone. That is going to be straight up awesome. Now we're going to switch this to this side. And we're going to flip that like so. And we're potentially going to craft up this topaz. Now actually, what we could do is we could sell this gemstone and a garlic. Grab this. And craft up that hero longsword. So we're going to reserve this potion belt. We're also going to reserve the eye lamp. We're going to fit these back in. And we're going to move on. Now once we craft these up, we're going to be in a fantastic spot. And holy moly, did I misplace this whetstone. What am I doing? Yeah. Wrong way. It'll have to do. And unfortunately, we're just going to fall short. But once we have this crafted up, we should be in a fantastic spot. We're going to grab this and we're going to take our eye lamp and scale up that damage on this wooden sword. Now we're going to flip this inside. We're going to craft this up and we're going to move on. Now we could take the gloves, but I'm going to keep it this way for now. Now for smithing for dummies, we do kind of want to craft up our wooden swords, but I'm actually going to keep them for now, which is madness, because I'm going to go for a hardwood skill towards the end. But overall, our DPS should be fantastic right now. Now we're going to have to take this armor. We're going to roll. And we're going to want this leather bag. But unfortunately for this round, we're going to be crafting up that dragon skull armor, which means our banana is going to be out. We could grab this perfect sapphire, but I'm not going to take it. 16 gold. It's going to be too much for what we want. So I'm not going to take it. But so far, smashing taking on this pyromancer. Really, really awesome. We caught him in the middle of the craft, so that's pretty darn good for us. Now we're going to take this. We're going to take this regular ruby. We're going to roll for now. We're going to want extra storage. We're also going to want this cap. We're going to add this in too. And again, we're going to move on. Now we opted to have our eye lamp on our hero longsword because that is just going to have more damage overall. So we're going to guarantee that that actually hits. We'll see. So far our opponent is stacking up a lot of vampirism. They have a ton of heats. That's actually going to keep him alive for quite some time. But honestly, our damage right now is pretty darn good. I know which subclass we're going to go for. I'm going to go for something crazy. I'm going to go for the anvil. I'm going to go for the anvil, and we have a perfect setup for right now. Now, I'm actually going to lock our wooden swords because I do actually want to grab this and craft up a burning coal. Otherwise, we'd end up crafting up a torch, and I do want to keep our wooden swords for now. But I'm going to roll. That's a cheese on sale, which we're probably going to want to grab. So we're going to sell it. We're going to grab our cheese. We're going to move on. And we'll see how this goes for now. Now, this wooden sword should be dealing quite a bit of damage, up to 7.5 DPS with 7.5 DPS. And it's going to be scaling up with that island. So overall, this should be fantastic. Our opponent is actually going to be stacking up a lot of empower and a lot of life with his turn doom. And a lot of spikes, which is going to be problematic. But overall, our flat damage is pretty darn good. Now we're going to grab this potion belt because we're going to slot it in here for now. Let's take this and what's going to be the amulet of energy, which honestly, I'm not sure if we actually do once. Now let's roll. And we're going to fit that in. We're going to grab this too. That's going to be another craftable item. Let's add this in. Let's roll once. And let's sell this amulet of energy so we can actually grab this for now. And we can fit that in like so, increasing the speed of this wooden sword. Also add in our cheese and our banana. And let's set our flame once to roll. Now that is a prismatic orb, which we could take, but don't exactly want to. I'm going to sell this blue gemstone to grab another topaz. And we're going to move on. And now all of a sudden this anvil is looking pretty darn good. This wooden sword should be dealing quite a bit of damage. And overall we should have pretty close to 30 DPS with our setup right now. And awesome. Our opponent did have the brand new Doom Cap, which is going to be inflicting poison. It's also going to be reducing our healing. We don't exactly need healing right now. And the reason why I kept these wooden swords all along is to grab hardwood. Because this is going to multiply our damage by 200%. And especially with our anvil and a hero longsword, that is going to be absurd damage. So let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to grab the stamina sack. And we're going to roll once more. Let's actually roll again. We're going to grab red rubies. We're going to add this in so we get a little bit more block. And I'm going to actually reserve this potion belt for now. But we're going to move on. Now our hardwood, we could have in more common items. That way we get even more block. But as you can see, our wooden swords are now dealing 25 DPS, 26 DPS. So overall, smashing. This is just absurd damage. Really, really crazy damage. I'm going to craft up this Cap Discomfort, which means I'm going to actually buy this, slot this down. And we could be crafting up more topazes, and we could be grabbing another wooden sword. Which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to roll, and we're going to sell this to grab this. But unfortunately, for right now, we're going to have to change our setup around. Now, unfortunately, I actually can't add in this wooden sword as of right now, so we're going to move on. Without affecting or without griefing our positioning, I can't exactly add it in. But eventually, we're going to slot it in over this side, so that way we get that extra damage in the utility pouch as well. But we'll see, our opponent does have a ton of healing with Nocturnal Locklifter. So they could actually out-heal us. Because, yeah, actually they managed to out-heal us. They had just way too much healing. We don't have healing reduction as of right now. Until we get a Cap Resilience crafted up. We managed to deal 884 damage within 13 seconds. And it's only going to get better once we add in an extra wooden sword. Well, let's grab this for now. Let's slot this up. Let's go and add in our wooden sword in this position. We're going to have it set up to be more like this for right now. I'm actually going to grab this. That way we get a little bit of lifesteal. We're going to have to move our banana out because we can actually move our helmet in. And that should be fantastic. Let's add this in for a bit of lifesteal. Let's actually grab this for now. That way we can get a little bit of armor. Now I'm actually going to reserve the stamina sack, but we should be in a fantastic spot right now. Especially with all these topazes. Our stamina should be able to keep up with it unless we come across the shields. Unfortunately. But our DPS on our swords should be pretty good. However, that opponent is dealing a lot of damage with that serpent staff, but holy moly, you see that damage? Awesome. Now I'm actually going to slot this in to our helmet for now. Now I'm tempted to actually grab this to tack through armor. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this too. We could grab our gloves to increase the speed of it. Or we could craft up dragon scale boots. Crafting up dragon scale boots will literally give us some power, which will increase our DPS. So I'm going to do that. But we are going to lose a little bit of value for this round, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to move our box of riches out because we can add in an extra flame for a little bit more armor. I'm going to roll. And I do want to grab another cap to get another cap discomfort to reduce your opponent's healing. And until then, we're going to move on. Now our opponent is going to rock 2 holy armors. They're going to turbo stack their heat pretty fast. So unless we smash them down, and it's looking like we are, and holy moly, our DPS right now. We managed to deal 450 damage within 7 seconds. Which is absurd damage from wooden swords, which is genuinely pretty good. And that's without crits. But anyway, let's keep moving on. I do believe we can actually make this a lot crazier. But with our dragon scale boots, we should be in a fantastic spot. Because I do want to grab our helmet. I'm going to grab this fanny pack, going to roll once. And I'm actually going to grab this because I actually do want to reduce our opponent's healing even further. Now the funny thing is, we can actually grab this whetstone and increase the DPS on this wooden sword by significant amounts. Because with the hardwood, that is going to increase it basically up to 3 damage. Which is kind of crazy. But I'm not going to take it for right now. And I'm tempted to sell this to grab this too. And actually have these attack through armor. I'm also going to slot this up here to actually increase the speed of this wooden sword just a little bit. And that's all we're going to do for right now. So basically, with our sapphires, we can attack through a little bit of armor. While also inflicting a bit of frost. So overall, should be smashing, and our opponent's already dead. Which is awesome. In 5 seconds, dealing 260 damage. Because our opponents can't heal. And we have the chance to attack through damage. Now I'm going to roll. I'm going to grab the potion belt since it's on sale. I'm going to keep rolling for now. We can grab this blue sapphire if we do want to. Don't exactly want to. And that is a perfect topaz. Which would increase the speed of our wooden sword significantly. Is that actually worth it? 35% increased attack speed? Hell yeah, that would actually be worth it. I'm going to reserve it for now. But I'm going to roll once more. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to move on. Saving all our golds. And we'll see. Now, Busted Blade could be quite scary because, especially with the Hero Longsword, they could be doing a lot of damage to us. But so far, actually, not too bad. It was pretty close, but we managed to outpace him anyway. Now, we're going to grab this perfect topaz. We're going to slot this in here. We're actually going to take another one of these because we're going to need to increase our stamina if we are going to increase the attack speed of this wooden sword. Now, I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll again. Now, I do actually want to craft up this cap discomforts because with our sapphires, because once you craft it up, that is literally going to be over 100% healing reduction because that's 55% with these 3 gemstones, 85%, an extra 30% from that to the 55, and then an extra 30% equivalent to 115. So we're definitely going to want that. We're going to sell this and we're going to grab another topaz, and this should be awesome. I'm actually going to slot this in here to get that lifesteal on this one, and I'm going to add this one in too to get even more lifesteal. I'm going to move this out. So we get a tiny bit more armor from a hardwood. And honestly, let's just move on for now. Now we'll see. This wooden sword DPS should be going turbo nuts. And especially with that scaling damage, it's going to be insane. And the fight's already over, even though they have hardwood too. But they're only using it for a bunch of armor. And we shredded our armor like crazy. With an 88 DPS, which is just straight up absurd. Genuinely absurd. But anyways, let's go ahead and craft this up. That is going to be amazing. We don't exactly, since we're more of a burst build, we don't exactly need these caps, but it is kind of nice to completely shut off our bonus healing. It means that if the fight lasts a bit longer, you can deal that damage, and they're not going to be able to heal. Now we're actually going to slot this in for now. I'm not going to craft it up. We could grab another cap, but I'm not going to take it for now. I'm going to keep rolling. And we could potentially get another Cryptic Crystal. Now we could have also went for a lot of Vampirism too. We've seen a lot of Bloody Amulets. We could have crafted up Vampiric Armor. That would have been kind of nice too. But I'm still not going to take it. I'm going to move once again. And I'm going to roll once. And that's all we can really do, unfortunately. Now we didn't actually really add too much except adding in a Corrupted Crystal. But we'll see. Now this could be quite scary because they're running Excalibur. They're going to have a lot of stack and max life. They also have this Spicy Banana, which is going to heal them for quite a bit. But they're already half HP before they can actually really start scaling. And honestly, amazing. Just burst them down before they can actually get the Excalibur going like crazy. Especially with all that cheese. They would have went crazy with all that healing. And almost 100 DPS with their wooden swords is straight up amazing. That is for sure. Now with that, we can actually move this out. I'm thinking we're actually going to grab this too. That way we get a little bit more scaling damage on our wooden sword, because with the hardwood, that is going to... Basically, any scaling damage from this is going to be multiplied, which is amazing. Now, honestly, I might actually switch this for this, because increasing the attack speed on our wooden sword, yeah, is definitely going to be the play. Now, I'm going to roll. Don't exactly want any of these items. Let's keep going, and we could just take this and completely shut off our opponent's healing. We definitely have overkill with our gemstones right now, but we could completely shut it off altogether. It is going to be extreme overkill though, but should we do it anyway? Honestly, I'm going to sell the box for riches, so let's go ahead and grab it for now. Let's roll, and let's roll again. And that's all we can really do. Actually, we could sell the burning coal, we could sell this, we do lose a bit of armor. We can switch this over for this side. Sell all these, grab one final whetstone, and increase your DPS just even a tiny bit more. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Let's grab this and increase the damage on that wooden sword even just a little bit more. Now, smithing for dummies with this setup is getting strange, but getting that extra whetstone for our hero sword while also reducing his stamina is pretty darn good. But anyways, let's go and see, is this actually going to be good enough in our final rounds? Can we win? Our opponent is going to be rocking a spike staff with a holy spirit with a ton of weapons. This could actually be kind of scary. I say it could be kind of scary. Actually, it's going to be quite close actually. And just barely. Holy moly. Actually, you know what's actually kind of funny? Adding in our whetstone actually mattered here. Increasing our DPS even just a little bit. And we actually would have lost. And even flipping that topaz over to a wooden sword, which was crazy. We barely won this. But anyways, this was crazy fun. Our opponents had that bloody harvester. They had manitors. They had brass knuckles. They had a spike. They had so much mana items. Let's check our DPS. Our DPS was drastically reduced, but that's because our opponent was actually running 2 dragon skull armors. Because they had so much damage reduction with the duffel bag, with the dragon skull armor, with the dragon skull armor. So basically that's 40% damage reduction. So we actually did about 60% of our normal damage. Now our opponent actually had absurd damage too, with their whole setup. Run the manitors, holy spear, spike staff, brass knuckles, bloody harvester, a lot of weapons, dealing a lot of damage. They had 0 healing. And we had roughly around the same block. They had 34 more. And the funny thing is, we actually missed quite a bit. But a 52 DPS sword, a 40 DPS sword, and a 25 DPS sword. Which is overall a nuts build. Hardwood, definitely being nuts. Making our wooden swords deal an absurd amount of damage. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here for now. We survived 4 lives left. Just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope you keep a lookout for the next one. See you next time.